The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Oh, man, oh man. Sipping on the rum and eggnog last night, and all I could think of watching the Canucks game was Buium.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Man, oh man, it's 2025, and I can't believe the Canucks got a guy on the team called Buium. It's like Casper and Guy Fieri had a baby, man. Anyways, Locked On Canucks, my name is Trevor Beggs, co-host of Locked On Canucks, also a sports reporter for Daily Hive, Vancouver. Joined as always by my co-host Kyle Bowen. This episode today brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of this action of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your live NFL bets all season long. Now, I think a lot of Canucks fans might have shut off the game last night at 4-1, 5-1, whatever it was at. Hey, podcasters do that sometimes too. It happens. And they would have missed Zeev Buium pulling off a pretty unreal play to set up Drew O'Connor. It's something that I think a lot of fans could take for granted. Not a lot of guys who just turned 20 could do that. This guy can't even drink in the States yet, for Christ's sakes. But today I want to talk about the defense a bit. Is the future in the present here with Zeev Buium and Filip Hronek? Is this a potential top pairing for the Vancouver Canucks? Let's also touch a little bit more on, maybe my opinion of the hybrid retool, and let's reflect on the year that was before we get to all that. Because who knows, this might be our last episode before Christmas. Before we get to all that, someone who says that Jurassic Park is his favorite Christmas movie, Kyle Bowen. What's going on, brother?
Yep, I spent about 7 hours watching the Jurassic Park series this weekend. First movie, great. Second movie, absolute ass. Made me forward all the way to, the 2015 editions of Jurassic Park, aka Jurassic World. All in all, though, good Christmas movie. Why is it a Christmas movie? Find out at the end of the show, okay? Anyways, one love to the Don't Doze Art Lab for giving us a space to give you this West Coast bias and Mother Nature, because, this December's been really nice, and Trevor Beggs is recording outside, and, we got to talk about the Canucks and the new sponsor, Home Depot. Did you hear about that? Get your hybrid retools at one place at homedepot.com/Canucks. But let's talk about Hronek and Buium, okay? And not specifically them as a pair yet, but just individually speaking, I think this is how we have to approach the rest of the season. Like, analyze a couple things, analyze like player assessment, especially with the young players. But at the same time, and why don't we start here? Analyze Filip Hronek. And yeah, the Canucks got smoked yesterday. They got worked. They also got worked in New Jersey too for like 40 minutes, and in Boston in large parts. And yeah, Filip Hronek is part of that defense that gets worked, but he's also part of one of the worst rosters in the NHL. Like, this is a bad roster. It's embarrassing. Like, the forward group is just embarrassing on paper. All in all, though, Trevor, I've loved how Filip Hronek has looked post Quinn Hughes, because you know what? He's looked like Filip Hronek. And for a long time, I feel like some people were saying, he might have been carried by Quinn Hughes and quote unquote his brilliance. But looking back at it, what a trade by Patrick Allvin. And I know Patrick Allvin is not popular right now, but like, Filip Hronek's a damn good hockey player, and a lot of teams would love to have him, and we'll trade him in 5 minutes. But talk about Filip Hronek first.
Yeah, I think he's such a dog out there, man. And look, last night was, it could have been his worst performance as a Canuck, but I don't really blame him for that. Like, I just felt like it was a team who probably was a little lucky to win 4 games at the tail end of a road trip, and they just got outworked by a Philadelphia Flyers team that, has the evolved version of Adam Foote as head coach, right? But in general, I think Filip Hronek's skating is underrated. I think that's a guy who can wheel up the ice pretty quick with the puck on his stick. I think he's a really heads-up player. I've even just tried to pay attention more to him at games too. Like, a guy that is kind of chatting on the benches and between, commercial breaks, talking to the team as well. Again, such a leader out there. He's getting things done offensively. I mean, no one else on the Canucks is getting things done offensively, Kyle. Their leading scorers over the past 15 games in terms of goals are Linus Karlsson, Kiefer Sherwood, and Max Sasson. And the only reason Sherwood's up there is because he had a hat trick against the Islanders. I mean, the goals haven't been coming from anywhere, but Filip Hronek has at least been getting on the assist sheet offensively. I've liked what we've seen from him on the power play. He had a nice setup for one of the goals in the road trip. I think it was Kiefer Sherwood, one of Kiefer Sherwood's goals. Just such a do-it-all player, physical in the corners, rarely loses a board battle. Every Deers have heard me say this time and time again. The dude rarely loses a board battle. Look, he's a legit top pairing defenseman. Is he a number one on a cup contending team? I'm not quite sure about that, but he is a legit top pairing defenseman. And Kyle, we want to talk about Zeev Buium as well. I mean, look, these are the top average game scores for Vancouver Canucks this season, minimum 5 games played. Filip Hronek leading the pack in terms of most regular Canucks, but for the top 3 in terms of average game score, it's Zeev Buium number 1, Filip Hronek number 2, Liam Öhgren number 3. Mainly just Liam Öhgren got really juiced up by the game against Boston there, but really solid impression from a couple of new guys there. But I think the stats don't lie. Filip Hronek has been, even more than Quinn Hughes, the most impactful Canuck at both ends of the ice so far this season.
And would you say Filip Hronek is a legitimate number 2 defenseman, even on a good team? I got to watch more hockey.
Absolutely.
I would say yes. Like, he's fun to watch, and he's strong. And, again, I watch a lot of Canucks hockey, but the Canucks play other teams when they play hockey games. So I'm still watching other teams play, and Filip Hronek to me is, like, he's good. He's really, really good. Like, I would give him, on some nights, like an 89 overall. He's strong.
Ooh, damn.
And I want to know, Trevor. I know Thomas Drance just came out with an article that, oh man, just pissing me off. The Canucks, man, the most confusing team ever. Like, they think we're just stupid out here. Anyways, pretty much Thomas Drance saying how the Canucks, they want to stay competitive, most likely leaning towards not trading Demko, Lankinen, most likely not trading players who have term left on their contract, most likely only trading UFAs. But if the Canucks, like, I don't know, want to do what's quote unquote right and actually rebuild, which is something that, and I've learned this from like other pundits, right? Like, the rebuild only happens, it's not on the players, like, it's on the management to make the rebuild happen. And yeah, the Canucks traded Quinn Hughes, but they need to do way more if they want to legitimately bottom out. And to me, it's like, in a world, if they were rebuilding, do you think they'd consider trading Filip Hronek? Because you get a lot for him, and you get a lot for Filip Hronek. Like, I'm not saying you get the Quinn Hughes package, but you get a lot for Filip Hronek. So much to the point where I'm like, are you getting like a Noah Dobson-like return? Maybe. Like, he's so good. Mm-hmm. He's so good. But like, would you trade him? Would you trade Filip Hronek if the team, again, should be doing the right thing and rebuilding? Like, would he be part of like the exile list?
To be honest, Kyle, and this is maybe a cop-out answer, I would pretty much trade anyone from this roster for the right price. Like, I don't think there should be an untouchable on this roster. But if someone knocks your socks off with a couple of first-round picks for Filip Hronek, like, you strongly got to consider that. Now, we all know that's not where the organization is leading. We all know that's not where they want to go. But if you are going to trade someone like Filip Hronek, you really need to get a haul for him, because he is a great player. And Kyle, we've seen this team, again, probably a little lucky on this road trip to go 4-1, but they legitimately have been playing better hockey over the past, I'd say since December 1st even. They lack the juice, they lack the offense, but the structure is at least a lot better than it was earlier on in the season. And a big part of that is Filip Hronek. You got to get an absolute haul if you're trading Filip Hronek. Now, Kyle, maybe something else we'll talk about before we go to break here. And, I do want to gas up Zeev Buium as well before you cap off this episode. What about the Canucks' highest paid wingers on this team? I mean, Jake DeBrusk, 1 goal in his last 15 games. Brock Besser, 1 goal, 3 points in his last 15 games. Connor Garland, 2 goals in his last 13 games. The Canucks' highest paid forwards, outside of Evander Kane, who's actually played better of late, have not been producing. Like, is there any chance that any of those 3 guys get... I know we talked a lot about Garland, so maybe they'll focus more on Besser and DeBrusk, guys with term. Is there any chance in your eyes that the Canucks trade one of those 2 guys?
They're not doing it, dude. They're not doing it. They're not doing it, man. This team wants to finish 8th or 9th or 7th. They want to be competitive.
Do they really feel like those guys can help with that? Like, Besser and DeBrusk have both been so streaky for this team.
Yeah.
In times of turmoil, right? The JT Miller trade last year, the Quinn Hughes trade JT Miller trade was this year. Yeah, 2025 has been a wild year, man. Brock Besser has kind of gone invisible for long stretches after the Miller trade and now after the Hughes trade as well. I know it's been tough for him playing with David Kampf at center. Now he's got a new guy, Marco Rossi. It's not like they've hit the ground running chemistry-wise, but I just wonder a lot about Brock Besser right now. Like, what is he bringing to this team? He's playing a lot of minutes. He's not producing a lot of offense. I'm kind of curious, maybe our 2 cents of like what to make of Brock Besser and how can the Canucks get more out of him if it's even possible.
Dude, what do you mean? How can the Canucks get more out of Brock Besser? Like, he's been here for such a long time, and you would think that a player like that, who's the longest tenured Canuck, quote unquote, a leader on this team, would feel away after Quinn Hughes got traded. Like, I'm waiting for some of these guys to feel embarrassed about what's happened with this team. Have a little pride, have some balls. No, straight up, play with some heart. Like, the captain just got traded. You have a bunch of young guys on the team. Pettersson's still not there. Miller got traded 14 months ago. Like, Brock Besser, don't you want to show the guys how to work? But a part of me is like, yo, he's still emotional after his friend Hughes got traded. That's what I'm telling you, man. Some guys on this team, I don't think they care that much about winning. Like, no, straight up. It's not, like, winning is not the most important thing. It's being happy. That's 2025 for you. Like, your emotions first, then the business. And you're seeing absolutely no passion from Brock Besser. Now, I will say this, because yesterday that's what we saw. Maybe he got emotional playing Rick Tocchet. Who knows? The game against Boston, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like Besser had a million chances in that game. Like, it might have been that game or the game against the Islanders. One or the other. Like, he had chances to, like, pad the stats. But to me, like, again, when you're the 4th youngest team in the league or whatever it is, and you have these new guys on the team, the fact that, like, DeBrusk and Besser show no passion in yesterday's game. Oh, it's the end of the road trip. Oh, it's the holiday season. Oh, it's like, dude, play, be a leader. But these guys aren't leading. And I would like them to make moves, trade some of those guys, get picks, get 2nd-round picks, whatever brings it, even for the sole reason of, like, maybe giving guys like Lecker Mackey some minutes or Ogren some more minutes. But all in all, it's like, I question if these guys actually truly care about winning and losing games. Like, or are they just collecting checks? Like, when I watch games, it's bro, again, we mentioned it yesterday, not to throw Elias Pettersson under the bus, but Quinn Hughes just got traded. And yeah, Brock Besser's been doing a lot of the talking post Quinn Hughes being traded, but on the ice, the guy's just, he's collecting a check for real. And then Elias Pettersson hasn't said anything post Quinn Hughes being here too. And I'm like, being not here. And I'm like, yo, just get rid of all these guys. Like, reset the cupboard. Reset the damn cupboard, man. For real, man. Like, how is Evander Kane working his ass off 35 games into the season, more so than Brock Besser, like, after the Quinn Hughes trade? Like, again, wouldn't you think that some of these guys who have been here, DeBrusk, I know he's been here for 2 years, like, but at the same time, like, play with some pride. Like, isn't this embarrassing? Straight up.
I think there's a simple answer to that, Kyle. Evander Kane's playing for his future NHL career. Brock Besser is signed and comfortable for the next 7 years. Let us know in the comments. You think Brock Besser should be captain? It's a notion I don't agree with. I don't agree with that.
It's the culture sucks on this team. Like, even little things, bro. I'm sorry, man. For a couple things, okay? I'm sorry for turning off the game at 5-1. We'll talk about Zeev Buium's assist and how I missed that. Because if I saw that assist with 30 seconds left in the game or whatever, yesterday's episode would have been totally different, okay? 2, if I saw Michkov, was it 4-1 or 5-1 when Michkov? No, I think it was 4-1 still when Michkov.
Yeah, I thought Tippett made it 4-1. I'm trying to remember. All kind of blends. I was chasing kids around.
I'm pretty sure after like Michkov took out Buium for no reason at all. Yeah. And the fact that not one, it's 4-1. It's 4-1. At one point, it's 5-1. You're playing your former coach. Like, no hate. Your blood is not boiling. This shit don't matter for this team, bro. It's like some of the leaders on this team, like, it just does not matter. Like, get me home, get me to my girl, Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho. And great, congratulations. There's more important things than your work, okay? For real. Family's the most important thing. I'm not trying to say it isn't, but, like, it's the NHL. You know what I'm saying? We play in Vancouver, one of the 7 Canadian markets. It's inexcusable. It's actually inexcusable how there's very little passion from a large part of the older players on this team. And you know what that's ultimately made me, Trevor? And we'll get to this on the other side. It's actually made me into more of a Tyler Myers fan, for real. It really has, because he gives a puck, for real.
Yeah, there we go. Well, we'll talk more about Tyler Myers, Zeev Buium, and Canucks who give a puck on the other side. We'll talk about hybrid rebuild and some 420 reflections because it's 420 somewhere. Talk about this crazy Canucks here in 2025. That's all coming up here on Locked On Canucks. All right, before we get back to the show, let's shout out our friends over at Monarch Money, baby. The holidays, it's an amazing time, you know. We're going to take a couple of days off here. Boom, bam, like Kyle said, family first. But holidays can also get overwhelming, okay, with the travel, the gifts, the parties, the year-end expenses. I feel that all. It's really easy to lose track of your money this time of year, and that's exactly why Monarch has become such a game changer for me. You know what? I love Kyle Bowen so much that I got him a Monarch subscription for Christmas with the
Wow.
50% discount. Boom, bam, let's go. Kyle, I love you, brother. And I want you to be financially savvy. Okay,
Thank
man.
you.
And hey, man, it's not just some bozo telling you to use this app, but Monarch was rated Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. So don't listen to a bozo like me. Listen to the Wall Street Journal. They know what's up. So make sure that you don't let your financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use Monarch like me, like Kyle, and use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarch.com in your browser for half off of your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code LOCKEDONNHL. All right, baby, let's shout out our friends over at Doer. The holidays are here, and I'm not stressing about what to wear or what to buy because I'll be shopping at Doer. Man, oh man, Colin, I went and checked out Doer in Vancouver. Smells great in there. Friendly staff. Shout out to Liam over at Doer in Vancouver. They're doing the most to make you feel comfortable, make you look sexy. And again, make sure you get some Doer for your family as well. Okay, not only do they have the most comfortable jeans in the world with 5 times the stretch of traditional denim, but they got other great pants, other great shirts in there as well. So you can, again, be sexy and comfortable. And you can make your family and your friends sexy and comfortable as well. Who doesn't love making their family sexy? What? Anyways, go check out Doer here in Vancouver at 1757 West 4th Avenue and mention our promo code Locked On Canucks in store to get 15% off your first order. You can also check them out online at duer.ca/LockedOnCanucks again for 15% off. That's duer.ca/LockedOnCanucks.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks, and more importantly, reading your comments. Okay, Kanil Prakash is saying, Begsy, man, you're looking like a sexy elf, okay? Got the haircut, liking it. Bobby Bluger also asking how you're keeping your hair up, because it's looking really, texturized, strong. The wind is blowing, but your hair's not blowing, But I'll spoil it for you, okay? Bobby Bluger, if you got hair on your head, Trevor still uses Dippity Doo, $4.99 at Walmart. And then what he does is he puts a little lemon juice on his hands and rubs it in with the Dippity Doo. That's the little technique. And then you use a blow dryer. And yeah, you're good. You're good to go for a couple weeks. Actually, they don't want you to know that in school, buddy. They don't teach you that.
Yeah, there you go. That's hair grooming 101 about my hair, courtesy of Kyle Bowen. So thanks for that, man. And yeah, a little bit of childhood trauma with the elf comment, but thanks to Kino Prakash, aka Curly Penis there. I often got called elf ears when I was in elementary school. I grew into my ears a bit, but yeah, it's a bit of childhood trauma I just got reminded of there.
Kanil Prakash, he
maybe he's one of the guys bullying me in elementary school.
Yeah, you kind of do look like an elf now. Wait till people meet you
I'm less sensitive than I was when I was 7 years old, so it's all good now.
Wait till people meet you in person and realize Trevor's like 5'2". So, Look at this comment, okay? The atomic splitting science is saying the upcoming Abby players are winners, and the more of them, on the team, the better of the culture we will be or we will have. Okay, I'm gonna touch on this just a little bit before we talk about Zeev Buium, okay? Like, that is telling. Like, how come Sasan cares more than Brock Besser? For real. How come Sasan cares more than Jake DeBrusk right now? Like, how come Linus Karlsson's working his ass off? And I know, Trevor, your answer is, they're playing for contracts. They're playing from, like, their spot. They're playing for, like, NHL relevancy. The other guys are here forever. I understand that to a point, but where's the pride? Like, was the goal to get an NHL contract or was the goal to win? And that's like what this team needs to like look for, like players who want to win moving into whatever this hybrid retool is. Like, I just want uber competitive dudes, especially if this team's not going to tank, dude. Like, anyone that you bring in, uber competitive. Like, winning matters more than your feelings. I'm sorry, am I allowed to say that in 2025 or 2026? People are woke, and that's a unsensitive thing to say. But this is hockey, baby, and I want players who want to win more than want to just like hug their emotions.
100%, Colin. And that's why, all the talk right now is, the Canucks got to trade Sherwood because he's a pending UFA. Got to trade Kane pending UFA. Those guys are trying harder right now than the guys who have long-term contracts, right?
Yeah.
Like, Connor Garland, I think, is out there trying. I just think he's been lacking chemistry with guys, and I don't know, maybe his head's not fully in it, but I do feel like he's trying out there.
Garland was bad yesterday. That was one.
Yeah,
he
wasn't good yesterday. Yeah,
but he got the assist. At the end of the day, he got the assist. Like something gave. Like I'll give him that. But continue. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I know I'm picking on Besser and DeBrusk in this episode, but like, what the hell have these guys been doing lately, right?
Yeah.
Like, early on in the season, Besser was scoring, and but both those guys, it feels like on a shift-to-shift basis, they're largely non-factors, right? At least when Kiefer Sherwood goes out there, you notice him, right? Max Sasson right now, he goes out there, you notice him. You are not noticing Brock Besser and Jake DeBrusk, and these are the two highest-paid forwards or the highest-paid wingers on the team, I should say. It's like, if we're talking about trading guys that are actually giving a shit and trying out there, why aren't we talking about trading these guys? I know they got no move clauses and whatever. But if you're truly talking about cleaning house, wouldn't be the first time in this league or even in this organization that a guy has waived their no move clause to go somewhere else. So
it's not going to happen.
The Canucks got to think long and hard as they get through this, like you said, this hybrid retool or whatever the hell we're doing here.
It's not going to happen, though. Just after reading that Drance piece, like, it sounds like they don't want to trade players who have contract, who have term. They don't want to do that. And I don't know why. Like, this is the same team that wouldn't trade Besser because they're, the way Besser's been playing this year for the last 20 games, I'm like, maybe Alvin wasn't lying when other teams are like not giving him shit for Brock, like, at last year's deadline. Dude, like, he's too streaky of a player. When he's bad, he's bad. And just the passion, like the energy, man, like, where is it? Where is it? And again, based on what Drance is saying, they don't want to give up on too many of their veterans because they want to stay competitive. And to me, it's like, I'd much rather trade Besser, trade DeBrusk. And this may sound stupid, but if their approach is like staying competitive and keeping some vets, is like then using that money to keep Sherwood. Because at least he cares. At least he does something.
Yeah, I completely agree, Kyle. And, thankfully, one guy who does look like he cares out there is the new guy, Zeev Buium. And hopefully he keeps it up. I know there was some talk about, like, he missed a guy on one of the goals last night. But overall, for a guy, again, who just turned 20 years old a couple weeks ago, I think it was earlier this month, maybe December 5th, just turned 20 years old. He looks like he gives a shit out there. He's playing top 4 minutes. He's making plays out there that no one else in this team is really making. Holding his own defensively. I mean, again, there's been a couple of mistakes here. Don't get me wrong. There's been mistakes for the young guys like Willander as well. Tom Willander, I should say. Willander. I really like Zeev Buium's game so far. And I do wonder, Kyle, like, I don't think they're trading Filip Hronek. If they're going to start to exile veterans with some term, I wonder if they look at Besser and DeBrusk and just say, let's give them a fresh start. Let's take whatever, because these guys are just filler players right now. I think Filip Hronek's sticking around, and I think him and Zeev Buium are going to be a pretty legit top 1-2 for the Canucks heading into the future here.
Yeah. I think that definitely could be the case. I wonder if, those two do end up playing together, and if, like, I hope Hronek doesn't, like, defer so much to, like, Buium like he did with Quinn Hughes, because I get it with Quinn Hughes, but Buium's not on that level. I don't think he'll ever be at that level, which is okay, but if they do play together, I'd want Filip Hronek to, like, be more of the man, or just 50-50 it, with the puck. Like, don't always look for Buium. And yeah, on that note, like, if you heard Buium talk on Spit and Chicklets, like, he didn't know Filip Hronek was that good.
Yeah.
He gave Filip Hronek the cosign, and yeah, like, it's pretty obvious how good of a defenseman he is. But I'd also just want to see, like, Buium and Tom Willander play together too. with that being said,
They've had some shifts, right? They've had some shifts over his first 5 games here, which has been good to see. Interesting to see, at least.
and at the end of the day, like all this talk about hybrid rebuild, hybrid retool, this and that, blah blah blah. It's like, look at the team's roster, dude. The way it's assembled, it's already rebuilt. Like, I know they got some NHL ready players for Quinn Hughes, but they're all young. They're not like, it's not like Marco Rossi's like completely proven. Like he's been at 8 years in a row. He's put up 70 points. Like he might. Yeah, he still has a lot to prove too. Like this is a quote unquote bad roster with a lot of young players, and look at their decor. Like they got Elias Pettersson, Tom Landers, and Zeev Buium playing some pretty legit minutes. So they're on that path. And just to touch more on Zeev Buium, like I know, again, like you said, right, people noting a few of his mistakes, and maybe he's being judged on like the Quinn Hughes curve and whatnot. And again, that's just impossible. Or maybe he's just being judged fairly, which is okay. Like players make mistakes, but this guy was 19 a couple weeks ago. And I don't know. Again, I wish I watched the whole game yesterday. I wish I didn't turn it off with 3 minutes left or whatever, just so I could see that assist that he had in real life, in live form, because that's a special play. Like, sure, it's 5-1 in Philadelphia is probably not checking as hard as they want to, but Zeev Buium, they went coast to coast and as a just turned 20-year-old and gave it to Drew O'Connor for a beautiful assist. And there was moments in yesterday's game where Zeev Buium was trying to do that, but it failed because he's 19 and a half or 20 years old. And some people were on him for that. Like, oh, he's trying to do too much, turning over the puck too much. And I'm like, yo, he's a new player on the team. It was a nothing game. Like the Canucks weren't doing anything the whole game. And he was the only one, or one of the only guys that was trying to make something happen. And it led to a couple mistakes, but at least he has that pedigree or that swagger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, he was showing confidence out there, right? And that's something that not a lot of Canucks are showing right now. Okay, Kyle, let's end off on the other side with a couple of good comments that have caught my eye, and maybe just some 420 reflections, man. So something we learned about these Canucks in 2025. That's coming up here on Locked On Canucks. You know what I love, man? When I'm at the dinner table and my kids start saying "Locked On Canucks," makes my day, man. You know what else makes my day is winning a juicy bet on FanDuel, baby. Whether it's NFL, whether it's NHL, whether it's UFC, you can check it all out on FanDuel. And man, oh man, I'm looking for Russ. Nothing is perfect in the comments. Talk about how the Canucks are making the playoffs, because right now, again, still got the lowest playoff odds of any NHL team. The Canucks are also tied for the lowest Stanley Cup odds, or the best Stanley Cup odds, if you want to put it that way. Plus 50,000 to win the Stanley Cup this season. The bottom 4 teams, according to FanDuel: San Jose, Chicago, Seattle, and Vancouver. My thing, can Vancouver beat all those teams for the number 1 pick? Because that will set this franchise forward and hopefully give us something meaningful. If you want to gamble responsibly, do so on FanDuel. Check it out on FanDuel.com and download the FanDuel app today.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. 6 or 7 points out of a playoff spot. The dream is still alive, sort of, kind of, not really. We're hybrid retooling, and that's why, again, today's episode is also brought to you by Home Hardware. Get your hybrid wrenches at one place, and that's here in Vancouver. Comment! Keneal Prakash is saying, what did Kyle not get his girlfriend for Christmas? I didn't get her a purse. Every girl wants a nice purse, man. And the one she wants is just like, y'all don't hit the like button enough. That's what I'll say. Y'all don't hit the like button, okay? But the day I get her the purse, I'm looking forward to that day, because I feel like it's finally going to be the day where she just shuts. Next comment. What do we have here? Duolingo saying, I agree with Kyle. Get rid of them all. I'm emotional. Maybe Brock Besser's saving it for the playoffs, right, Mr. Clutch? Blah blah blah. All jokes aside, again, just to me personally, again, they went 4-1 on the road trip. They did play with some level of pride. A lot of that was carried by Thatcher Demko because that guy is playing with a lot of pride, and Tyler Myers too. We didn't touch on, but Brock Besser's been here forever, and it's just enough's enough, man. Like, let's go. I feel like he's most passionate when he talks to the media members about his friends leaving this team. Like, bring that passion on the ice. No, for real, just leave it on the ice. And going back to Tyler Myers, my goal for the rest of the year is to be a big Tyler Myers fan. That's like what my New Year's resolution is, to be the biggest Tyler Myers fan ever, because he's a Canuck.
Well, hey, man, that's a good New Year's resolution. I mean, my New Year's resolution heading into this year was to just continue being a DILF. And hopefully I've lived up to that so far in 2025. Yeah, Tyler Myers, underappreciated. No, Kyle, just one story about this year in Vancouver that was underappreciated by me, and I want to continue appreciating. We saw the first championship in franchise history this year. And through all the darkness, through trading JT Miller and Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson, still not looking like the old dude we used to know. And somebody that I used to know. The Abbotsford Canucks won a championship, man.
I used to know somebody. I'm good with the ad-libs, man. That's my role in the studio.
Somebody that I used to know. Yeah, man. No, Abbotsford winning a championship, man. You got these guys making an impact at the NHL level. I know RT Baines got sent back down, but Linus Karlsson, Max Sasson, we got Tom Villander now with the team. I know he wasn't at Abbey last year. Victor Mancini back down there looking like a stud. Lecker Mackey, he's been on a tear in Abbotsford. Look, I'm just happy we got to see a championship this year in Abbotsford. I know it hasn't gone their way since. But man, the first championship in franchise history, something that I think is going to get forgotten by a lot of fans amidst all the turmoil this year. And Kyle, I don't want you to forget it, man. You and your negativity, man. Come on, don't forget the Canucks won a championship this year.
You know, when I was a young chap playing ball hockey on the streets of Surrey, BC, I was like, you know what, man? You know what? Every time I hit the pavement, I'm going to envision myself being a player in the AHL. That's what I was thinking about. But yeah, congratulations to Abbotsford for winning the championship. And yo, Sasson, man, I don't give a puck if this guy can't play center, quote unquote. Like, I don't believe that. My focus would be like, try to make him a good center.
100%, man. Dude, he's been awesome.
8 goals. Like, some of them have been pretty as like F, only getting paid $1 million. I wish they could sign Karlsson to a similar deal. Like, give him 2 years at $1 million per 2. No, for real. For real. That's the truth. Like, you got to do those things. And yeah, like Abbotsford, like their top line, if 2/3 of them have become legitimate NHLers, and yeah, last year was like a legitimate success. And shout out to the city of Abbotsford for being better than Vancouver. For real. But my favorite thing that happened in 2025, why are we doing this? Like, we still got New Year's Eve coming up, but anyways, I guess it's the holidays, right? Like, this is when they normally do like the top 100 plays of the year, TSN. There's still 6 days left in the season, the year. But anyways, my favorite thing was, No, you know what? No, honestly, we don't talk about it.
You some time to think about it, eh?
We don't talk about it enough, though. It's Tom Willander and Tom Villander. Sorry, I know he gets burned by Tippett yesterday, who was on a tear yesterday. Yeah. Now I get why the Canucks are probably going to trade 2 first-round picks for that guy in a couple weeks. Get that hybrid retool going with the Owen Tippett. Owen Tippett, he kind of looks like the Home Depot logo. You know, they got the red hat. You know, that'd be nice. He could be the face of the hybrid retool. Owen Tippett. That'd be nice. Brought to you by Home Depot. Homie Tippett. All in all, though, Tom Villander, bro, come on, Trevor. Like, for any rookie to succeed in a chaotic situation like this, where again, we saw it with Lecker last year at points too, like he's in this locker room and Miller and Pettersson are fighting. Welcome to the NHL. Divas. Tom Willander comes into the NHL, has a quote unquote bad training camp, plays in the AHL for like 2 days. That's all he needs from Manny Malhotra. And now he's a full-time NHLer, but he's succeeding at a time where the team just traded Quinn Hughes. Like, he's in that locker room, and who else is being a diva? Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes, you know? Like, there's no leadership in that room, and he's still finding his way. Well, I can't say there's no. Like Tyler Myers, Hronek.
Yeah, come on. You said you're going to be a big Tyler Myers fan. And 2026, we're not there yet, though. I guess.
Yeah, we're not there yet. But
Yeah.
I'm proud of Tom Verlander, my bad, for sticking it through and being one of this team's best defensemen. And I'm excited to watch how he does moving forward because like he's a huge piece. And it wasn't that long ago where they're trading him for Jake Ensel, right?
That's true, man. Back in the day, man. Back when we thought we were competing for a Stanley Cup. No, Tom Verlander surprised me this year. He really did. Like I didn't think. I thought coming into training camp he was going to push for an NHL spot. He did not look ready in training camp. I did not think he'd be back up this soon and making an impact for your Vancouver Canucks. Look, the D-Man for all the shit in Vancouver, the D is strong, and that's what I'm going to stand on. What heading into 2026, man.
I think that's abuse, man. I think that's abuse, and
so I should sit on the D.
One of the worst things that I don't know if you ever got into a snowball fight back. We might as well talk about this. It's Christmas season. Snowball fights back in the day. Boom, bam. You ever get sacked in the you know what? With a snowball, the ice hard snowball.
Yeah, it's happened. Yep.
No, it hurts. Yeah. The pain is crazy. Like I don't think women understand the pain that men have to go through. If my girlfriend's listening to this, I hope she could again, just respect all the things your man goes through. And yeah, back in the day, once in a while, he gets sacked with snowballs. And honestly, that's the one time where it pays to not have the biggest hybrid wrench because less surface area for impact via any type of physical.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might want the hybrid wrench to cover up the hybrid nutsack.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyways,
so.
we don't have that benefit, you and I, so it's all good.
Yeah. Last comment, okay? Kanil Prakash saying Jake Ensel in today's Canucks would be a disaster. Just, I don't know, man. We might have beaten. I mean, they probably trade Lindholm to get Gensel in 2024. So I don't know how much Gensel's a way better player, but Lindholm was really strong in the playoffs. Like he was a nuisance in the playoffs to play against. But that's a crazy world, Like everything changed for the Vancouver Canucks when they couldn't get Jake Guentzel because they got Jake DeBrusk on July 1st. I remember when Trevor called me, he's like, "Yo, the Canucks just signed Jake for 8 years." I'm thinking, "Whoa, got Jake Guentzel 8 years." Didn't sign with Tampa after they obtained his rights, but he's like, "No, Jake DeBrusk, 1 even strength goal in almost 40 games this season." That's embarrassing.
Yeah. The Canucks can be embarrassing sometimes, but I'm glad I have you here to laugh through the pain with Kyle. And we're glad that we have you and you along for the ride as well. So make sure that you like and subscribe. Like the show, subscribe to the channel, the podcast. Go follow us, leave a 5-star review. We might be taking a couple of days off for Christmas here, but we'll be back soon because it's Locked On Canucks, your Canucks every day.